So we've gotten to the start of college football. We saw yesterday quite a few, you know, they were games. I don't know if they were the greatest games I've ever seen in my entire life, but this time next week we'll be talking about the Georgia game against the Ducks. The Dogs 17.5 point favorites to win that game. When you watch Oregon, they've got a lot of transition over the last 9 months. Not just with Dan Lanning, you have a new quarterback, running back. Their kind of best running back transferred to USC. So there's a lot of rebuilding that you're looking at Oregon, Georgia too. But it really was good to see college football back. I got a chance to watch all of the games that were on. Started with the um, Western Kentucky Austin P game that was just going off memory, and then I watched until late into the third quarter of actually I watched into the fourth quarter of Vanderbilt, who looks better for sure. Some of the stuff they were doing is not going to work in the SEC. You're not going to quarterback scramble your way to victories in this league. That was one thing that was going on with Vandy. But one thing I want to talk about, when you look at the situation Nebraska's in, I mean, we've not seen that at Georgia, but there's a couple of reactions. First of all, that program, that's what happens when you don't take care of things. Period. And they have been chasing a ghost for a while, and it's not getting any better. I don't know if they're going to go after Dan Mullen. I don't know if they're going to go after Matt Campbell, who's at Iowa State. I don't know where they go, but what's happening right now with Scott Frost, it's not working. They were the better team yesterday in Ireland. They lost the game. They went. I mean, the onside kick was one thing, but you were up 11 points at that point. No one decision or move loses games for people. But the onside kick led to a three and out, an interception, 4 plays in a punt, a three and out, and an interception. They lost the game because they couldn't convert. Um, and you can't really expect teams to win if they don't close games out. You're not going to hold people down forever when you're not very good. So I thought it was a really bad loss for Nebraska. But now we enter game week for Georgia. Tomorrow will be the press conference for Georgia. Tomorrow at noon, we'll have that here for you. Tuesday, practice, Monday or Tuesday. I don't know when we'll get to see the team. It will likely be one of the two. Of course, on Thursday and Friday, everything sort of shuts down. Wednesday, we've got a telephone conversation with Kirby as well as the guys after practice. But if you've been waiting around for the season to start, it's here. Whenever the U.S. Open starts tennis, that's when college football is back, and that will start on Monday morning up at the Billie Jean King Center in Flushing. So it's you're almost at a loss for words because we've been building towards this for such a long time, and now that it's here, it's hard to really know what to say. I mean, Georgia is such a big favorite over Oregon, as I'll talk about later today. That means they are a substantial favorite to win that game, somewhere around 90% chance to win that game. I think when you look at Oregon and having watched them, and I'll continue to watch them over the next couple of days, it's not that they get pushed around a lot. I wouldn't say that. I think the thing that jumps out to me, and I don't know if Dan will do this at Oregon, is they definitely in the past would try to side you or screen you. That could work against Georgia, the screens. Um, if I mean, of course, all of this stuff can work. I'm not sure the side to side would work because Georgia is so fast on defense that it's just challenging to get them in a position where you're doing the wrong, where speed doesn't matter. With the screen, the thing that you hear about consistently from folks who've seen practices, multiple scrimmages and practices is, man, this defense really looks fast. But the caveat is they don't always know which way they're running to. So that's why this game is going to be so important just so you get some explosive plays that happen against this defense. If that doesn't happen, it means one of two things. Number one, either Oregon's not ready to have explosive plays. That is possible. That's kind of hard to believe. Or two, Georgia's defense is that good again. Um, they're not going to be good as a season ago, but they are a legitimate threat to be a top 10 or 15 defense. It hasn't just all disappeared. Like, you don't just all magically get it and it doesn't just all go away. These things are, in tiers. So that's the thing to me. Now, listen, make sure you're picking up DAWGSTRUCTION. We've had a lot of orders lately. Do not miss out on this book. 80 pages of information and storytelling you're not going to find anywhere else. The images are certainly different than anywhere else that you'll see. There's not a lot of books that are out there. Most of them are not hardcover. But we went through the real deal here and talked about this. It's a great gift, but you should get it for yourself. You can get it with the link down below. This is Kirby's reaction. Uh, I'm pretty certain he's screaming to yell. He's screaming at Keely to get down. But there's been Watson's shoes. Ben, if you're watching, Ben Watson and I had a pretty good laugh about that at media days. Um, he was very excited in that moment. A lot of people were, but there's a lot of excitement building towards Georgia's season. Make sure you take advantage of that. The link is down below. This is going to be a fun week. Riding home will be back after the game. It takes us a little bit longer than I think people realize to get out of these games. I think Gary Stokan and company at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl and the Chick-fil-A kickoff game have done a great job of making this event matter. I don't know. There's not a better kickoff game this season. I mean, I don't know what the other ones are. There's a Tech Clemson game which does not come the same hemisphere as this game. They're only opening half the stadium. My understanding is you cannot sit in the upper deck for Clemson Georgia Tech. So um, that is not. I mean, Clemson's not exactly very far from Atlanta. It's amazing to me that Georgia can bring every single year 40,000+ people to another state 6 hours away, and other programs just that's a local game for Clemson. They brought 40,000 to Charlotte. I guess it was 40. They probably bought 35 each, Georgia and Clemson. But Atlanta, I mean, like, why can't you bring 35 to Atlanta? And the answer is they're not playing Georgia. That's really the problem. I got Matt DeBerry calling me, probably about some recruiting scoop. You see it right there. There's Matthew calling. I'm answering the phone while I'm recording a video. Oh, here we go. Well, I don't know if people heard that or not. Let me call you back. I'll get that. All right, bye. And Matt letting us know. And if you heard that, you heard it. If you didn't, you didn't. I'm not gonna um I'm not gonna say what he said. If you didn't hear it, that's okay. Some stuff coming up on Monday. But um, this is a fun time of year. This week has got to me, some great games. You got Tennessee right off the bat on Thursday night. It's not going to be a competitive game, but you get Tennessee. Mizzou plays on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. It's kind of a strange time. And then you've got the best two games, West Virginia and Pittsburgh, in a kind of a weird deal where and Desmond Howard picked Pittsburgh to go and play in the college football playoff. Okay, man, I just don't know. Okay, and then really the game that I'm most interested in is this Big Ten game. Big Ten has done a great job of spreading games out. They have, they had the game in Ireland, and then they got this game Thursday night with Purdue, Penn State at Purdue. Friday night they've got another game, Indiana at Illinois. Not a great game. They also have Wisconsin, excuse me, Michigan State is playing at home against Western Michigan. Some of this is off the top of my head, so the names could be wrong. And of course, they've got Notre Dame at Ohio State. So they have really strung it out in ways that are great. The SEC's first weekend is okay. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I will look at this magazine that we were giving out for a time until we ran out of them. The first week for the SEC, Cincinnati at Arkansas, that is not a bad game. And then you've got Utah at Florida. That is a huge game to me. Georgia and Oregon. That's really about it. Florida State playing at LSU is very. That's going to be a good one as well. But you know, I am curious to see those games. Week 2 is much better. Alabama at Texas, South Carolina at Arkansas, Kentucky at Florida. Those are some real deal games. Mississippi State at Arizona, I'll be curious to watch. Missouri at Kansas State with you have to leave the SEC if you lose game. Texas at Pitt, excuse me, Tennessee at Pitt. Tennessee might beat Pitt. Then what's Joe? And then what is Desmond Howard? Pitt could start off 0-2. Now I don't think they will, but man, to pick them to go, I just don't get it. I thought it was a fun weekend. Thursday night, we've got Northern Arizona at Arizona State. Don't say you weren't warned. Somebody's got to watch that game.